Welcome to our meeting Thursday, April 4th. Hold it down there. Hold it down. Hold it down. Okay.
I want to keep.
Well, everybody wants to hold it down, well, but the rest of you folks. All right, let's go now. It's all the order. We got order here. Order in the gallery. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. Okay, we're going to start with, if you don't have one of these, they're up at the table, grab one and then you can follow along. Work on reading skills. Special considerations. If participating virtually, please mute yourself when not speaking and use the raise hand feature in the participants panel to indicate you would like to speak on an agenda item. Remember to unclick or lower your hand afterwards. Please limit extraneous use of the chat feature as it can distract board members and the audience from members from the conversation taking place about noticed items in the meeting. Rules and participation. This one is huge for me, actually. As we go through the meeting, you'll understand. Anyone wishing to speak, please raise your hand. After recognition, address your comments to the chair, me. Comments must relate to the pending agenda item. Remember that part, that's a goodie. By board rules, audience and board members can have up to 2 turns to speak on a topic. Those speaking should be concise and limit comments to 2 minutes per turn. 2 minutes per turn, sorry. Those giving reports should limit their reports to 3 minutes or 5 minutes presentations. Please silence all electronic devices. Okay. Note the board may take action on any agenda item actually, as required by the state sunshine law. Specific issues not listed on this agenda cannot be voted on unless properly added to the agenda by a 2/3 vote. Okay, number 1, call to order. I can't even see what time it is. It's 6:34. Okay, roll call. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Allred, Barber,
Here.
Duvall, DeVilbiss, Galdera,
Here.
Kachuk,
Here.
Kim,
Here.
I saw your, thank you. Kohler,
Here.
Lee,
Here.
Quadri, Salas,
Here.
Solomon, Rabati.
Here.
We do have quorum at this time, Chair, with 9 of 13 members present.
Well, welcome again. Okay. I'm going to start with public safety liaison. The fire department is here. And I see him right on our screen. Good afternoon. There we go. We can't hear him. You're muted there. Still muted. Can't read lips.
So at the bottom of your screen, there should be a unmute button right at the bottom of the WebEx tab. Yeah, we can't hear anything you're saying right now.
What we're going to do is, if you can hear me, we're going to move on and then see if you can get that. Okay, cool. Okay, next, police department. We're going to go with District 1 first.
Good evening. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Good evening, Chair Rabadi, board members, and everyone in attendance. Lieutenant Arnold Sugusi representing the Honolulu Police Department District 1 Community Area of Responsibility. Thank you guys for your time and patience. For more statistical information, you guys can go to the public website, www.honolulupd.org. The statistical information for the month of March 2024 is as follows for the District 1 area of responsibility. The motor vehicle thefts, we had 2. Previous to that was 3. Burglaries were 1. Previous month was 5. Thefts were 3. Previous month was 7. UMVs or car break-ins were 5 for both months. Assaults were 4. Previous was 1. Sex assault was 1. Previous to that was 1. Graffiti cases were 0 for both months. And drug offenses were 2. Previous month was 0. Total cost for service for your area in regards to District 1 was $387 compared to $425 from the previous month. The safety awareness tip for the month of April will be distracted driving. We're asking our community members to put their cell phones down and to be attentive to their surroundings when driving. With all the construction being done and spring arriving, there will be more pedestrians, traffic happening. Please drive with care. Other distractions that are notable are eating while driving and listening to loud music. At this point in time, I'll yield back the rest of my time and take any questions from the board members and the public attendees in regards to District 1.
Okay, anybody on the board have anything you want to talk to the officer about our neighborhood? No? Okay, you're getting off easy tonight. What? Oh, anybody else? Sorry. Anybody? Nobody. You're lucky. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. You guys have a great night. I'll hang up.
Okay. District 7.
Good evening, everybody. I'm from District 7. I'm Sergeant DeBarros. This is McCully, Moiliili area. Stats for this month, motor vehicle thefts, we're at 21, up from 3 from last month. Burglaries, we're down by 4 at 2, previously 6. Thefts, we're at 14. We're down by 1 from previous 15. UMVs, which is vehicle break-ins, we're at 19. We're up a little from 17 last month. Total cost of service, we're $6,238. Today's or this month's pedestrian safety tips is make sure you guys are aware of your surroundings. You know, it's easy to become lax, but just some easy tips where you know, walk against traffic, wear some bright clothes, kind of walk towards more the inside of the curbs. You know, we want to avoid all these pedestrian accidents, keep everybody safe. Okay, that's all I have.
Okay, board members, anyone? I do have a quick question for you. Homeless. I've noticed in the last week or so, Keomoku and Baratania, that little park there, what is Meadow Gold, used to be Meadow Gold. Now it's all lined with tents. But right before that, you guys moved them all out of there. I don't know where they went, but they're all back again. Is there a reason for that?
Well, for that, I'm not in for that area. Our area from Punahou downwards towards the Cocoa Head side. So, Lieutenant, you want to take care of that?
Yeah, I think I can address it better, Chair Rabadi, in regards to that particular area. So we are conducting SPO SNOs on a weekly basis at this point in time. Lieutenant Haishin Lin has been scheduling these SPO SNOs with DFM. They're coming out with us. We're addressing those locations, but there are a multitude of locations, as you know. So we hit, and just like I said, we only have a certain amount of resources in order to, address that situation. Obviously, there's not enough trucks sometimes and not enough room on the back of the flatbeds for all of the wagons that we recover. But we're slowly, taking, singular bites out of this huge elephant, right? I mean, that's the best we can do. And the part that I think the board can probably help us on is maybe seeing where we can maybe get some shelter for these people, because obviously once we go and clean it up, they tend to just move right back, and then we have to address it on further on in the week. So.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions about? Anybody? Nobody? Okay, thank you both again. Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys have a great night.
Okay, thank you. Let's go back to the fire department. So you guys.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there
Can
you
you hear
go.
me? There you go. Well, thank you for being patient with our technical issues here. Had to change computers, so different background for you guys to look at. Again, mahalo chair and board members for inviting Honolulu Fire Department. I just want to share the statistics for March. Looks like we had one structure fire, one nuisance fire, one cooking fire. We had 11 activated alarms with no fire. As far as other emergencies, we had 106 medical emergencies, 4 motor vehicle crash or collisions, and that was it for emergencies. And then we just have one safety tip. It's evacuation planning. We're just reminding you to have an emergency preparedness plan ready in case of an environmental emergency, fire, or a natural disaster. Know 2 ways out of your home. Consider the route you will take if you need to evacuate from your neighborhood due to an emergency. Visit fire.honolulu.gov to learn more. They're emphasizing leave early enough to avoid being caught in the fire, smoke, or road congestion. Establish a predetermined location, such as a well-prepared neighbor or relative's house, a low-risk area, or a shelter or evacuation center. Take your emergency supply kit containing your family and pets' necessary items. Thank you. I'm here for any questions if you have.
First, can you tell us your name?
Sure. Sorry, did I not mention? Captain Stan Kimura at the McCully Fire Station. I'm on engine 29.
Thank you. Okay, anybody? Questions, fire department? Board? Audience? Boy, this is easy on you guys tonight. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
No
thank you.
questions.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, moving on. Board of Water Supply. We have anybody from there?
I'm here, Chair. Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Sugimoto from the Honolulu Board of Water Supply. I'm subbing in for Stephen tonight. I would like to share my monthly report with everyone. Okay, so for this month's report, so there was a 1 water main break. It was on 3-21. It was an 8-inch cast iron, and the address was 758 Kaipu'u Street. Tonight's general water announcements. The topic is Detected Leak Week from April 14th to the 20th. So it's time to chase down and repair those pesky leaks. The BWS has once again partnered with Hardware Hawaii for the annual Detected Leak Week campaign, Sunday, April 14th through Saturday, April 20th. This campaign is an annual reminder to check your plumbing fixtures and irrigation systems for leaks. One of the most common leaks is a leaky toilet, which is usually caused by a worn out or faulty flapper. To learn more about the leak detection and win prizes at our in-person event on Wednesday, April 17th from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Tamarind Park Bishop Square in downtown Honolulu. You can find out more information on our website at www.boardofwatersupply.com. That's the end of my report. Does anyone have any questions or comments for BWS?
Board, any questions for anybody in the audience? There you go. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Drew Erickson. I have a question. Do you have any updates on the Red Hill cleanup and where they're at with that?
Not on top of my head. I can bring that question back and then we'll have a response for next month.
Okay, anybody else? No? Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, mahalo everyone.
Next, Michael O'Keefe, Mayor's Representative. Hello, Michael.
Aloha, everyone. Aloha, Chair. Mike O'Keefe with the city. First, a couple of quick announcements and then some follow-up items from last month. First, the mayor's April newsletter is out. It can be viewed at www.oneoahu.org/newsletter. Also, regarding town halls, Mayor Blangiardi and his team will be on the road to visit communities around Oahu. There are 9 town hall meetings left, and they include an open Q&A session with the mayor and representatives from 25 city departments and agencies. The public is encouraged to attend to give suggestions on how mayor's administration can better serve the people of Oahu. And I mentioned there's 9 town halls left. There's actually 1 tonight, so if you don't count tonight's town hall, there's 8 after that. The town hall locations can be seen at similar website to the newsletter. It's oneoahu.org/town hall. Okay, into the updates from last month. There was a question last month about a property on Houston Street. Does this property have a permit for this work? The concern is that the unpermitted demolition work could result in pollutants being released into the environment. So the question was related to, I think somebody had observed like a house or a structure that was in the process of being demolished, and so we didn't have. I forgot to ask for the exact location of the demolished the property that's was being demolished, but we believe it was at 713 Houston Street. If that is the case, that property does have an active demolition permit. If that's not the location that was being referenced, if you could provide me more details, I'm happy to look at that further. It would be helpful to have like an address or a tax key number or something like that. Next update was actually about the town halls. A resident asked if Mayor Blangiardi would consider a town hall meeting for the McCully Moiliili community, noting that there are issues unique to this community that residents would like to discuss. If adding an additional town hall meeting to the current round is out of the question, which town hall meeting should residents in the area attend? So just in part, I'd refer you back to the listing of town hall locations. There were 11 total this go around, not counting tonight. There's 8 left, and there's 1 kind of in every council district. There's quite a few remaining. There's 1 in Manoa District Park, and a couple more in town actually. But oneoahu.org/town hall are the locations. So the mayor's office also responded to this. We appreciate the eagerness of our constituents to have town hall meetings with the mayor and senior leaders in their neighborhoods. That strong desire to improve our communities is what drives the success of our neighborhood boards and is the backbone of any civic process. This year, Mayor Blangiardi is committed to holding 11 town halls, including at least 1 in every council district. While it is not possible to have town hall meetings in each and every neighborhood, we appreciate community leaders letting us know that they are interested in having their communities host future meetings. And we will definitely take this request into consideration in planning our next round of town halls. Third item from last month related to homeless in McCully Moiliili area. The question was, can Sam Moku, who is the person that's newly appointed to deal with homelessness by the mayor on Oahu, can Sam Moku attend a future neighborhood board meeting to update the community on what the city is doing to address homelessness? The response was essentially yes, Sam can attend. For the next 8 or so weeks, so 2.5 months, Sam is actually going to be at every single town hall meeting on Thursday night, which is when this neighborhood board meets. So once the town hall meetings are over, I think we could probably get Sam to come to one of our neighborhood board meetings if that's still desired. So I'll follow back up in a month or so and see if we want to do that. Fourth question regarding this has come up in a couple of previous neighborhood boards about a damaged park at the Alawai Park. A damaged wall at the Alawai Park. It was previously reported to the board that work to repair the rock wall adjacent to McCully Street at the Eva end of the canoe area was tentatively scheduled for the week of February 12th. As of March 7th, 2024, repairs have not yet happened. Is there an updated timeline for repairs that can be provided to the board? Would the Department of Parks and Recs ever consider converting the damaged section of the wall into an additional entrance to the park? So the update is that the repair was actually completed on March 16th, so a few weeks ago, and that presently there are no plans to add an additional entryway to the park from the McCully side of the street, street side of the park. Second to last question from last month. There is a pipe in the Alanayo stream near the damaged pedestrian bridge. What is this pipe used for? What's its purpose? Department of Parks took that question. It's actually a 6-inch water supply line that originates from a BWS water meter on Kapiolani Boulevard, and it provides water to the park, to the Alawai Community Park, Alawai Neighborhood Park, Community Gardens, the Alawai Field, etc. So it's the answer to that question is a water line. Lastly, Alanayo Stream pedestrian bridge. This is something that we've talked about for the past few meetings now. The latest question was, can the pedestrian bridge be demolished and replaced? It's in very poor condition and was previously reported by the Department of Design and Construction, as was previously reported by the Department of Design and Construction. The bridge's structural support is corroded. So Department of Parks took that question. The bridge will need to be submitted for a capital improvement project. When funds are available, it will move forward for replacement. Presently, the structure's concrete supports also serves as a support for that 6-inch water line that we just talked about in the previous question. The bridge is not safe and closed for public use, and that's why it's signed accordingly. So that's it from last month, but I'm here for any questions.
Okay, just a second. I'm first. Can you schedule a meeting with Sam after the 2 months? Like we get the next possible chance on a Thursday evening for him to come here? I mean, might as well ask now and get him scheduled, and then we know at least we have a guest going to be showing up.
Sure. Yeah, I think we could probably get him for the July meeting. I think the last round of town halls is in June, so maybe the meeting for July. I'll ask about that.
Hey, Mike, this is Logan Hutchinson from the NCO. The 4th, that's actually the 4th of July, that Thursday, so maybe the month after that. Yeah.
Got it. Thanks, Logan. Good point.
Okay, all right. Now, next, anybody in the board? Morgan?
Thank you guys for scheduling that meeting. I was actually not going to be present physically the next 2 meetings anyway, so I'm happy I'll be there when he's in person. I have a couple other random things. We got a press release a couple days ago about some of the changes that the Department of Planning and Permitting is making with regards to the software they're using. So I was actually wondering too if we could bring in Dawn Apuna to come talk to us about how the permitting system is changing and how they're overhauling it. I know that Civil Beat did a big article a couple months ago about how permitting is trying to overhaul their system, but I would love to learn more about what's new and happening there. So if you could help out with that, that would be also awesome.
Sure thing.
Also, I wanted to say thank you for fixing the wall. I walked past it the other day and I took a picture. So that was exciting to see that fixed. Yeah, really happy about that. I apologize, but I cannot remember where this discussion left off, but Laura Ruby had mentioned at various times the need for a raised crosswalk. And I'm pretty close to Laura, and I would like to add my voice to that conversation because I constantly watch cars whip around from, Laura, can you help me with the streets? What streets is it? University. They come down University and then they whip around Levi. So I don't know, maybe Laura and I can make a petition or something, but it's not safe. And I constantly think about the school kids that are over there. So especially there's 2 schools, since there's Alawai Elementary and Iolani that are right in that area. So just wanted to add my voice to that. And then I also wanted to ask too about crosswalks and when the lights change for them. I was turning from oh my gosh, my knowledge of street names is eluding me. I was turning on to Ala Moana today from, guys help me, the street that connects Atkinson. And I watched a bunch of pedestrians miss their entire light to walk into the park because they did not know that the light on Ala Moana is automatic, but the light that's on Atkinson is not automatic. And if you miss the light, you stay at the intersection for like 5 more minutes after that. But I know that's also true at like McCully and Kapiolani. The light is automatic, or the pedestrian crosswalk is automatic when it's crossing McCully, but if you are crossing Kapiolani, it's not automatic. And there's just different places where that goes. So I don't know if there's some sort of audit that people could do of that type of stuff, but it seems especially unfair to make it automatic in one direction, but then watch people kind of get screwed over at the intersection when they are ignorant of that in other directions.
So just to clarify, what's the question there?
What's the procedure for that being something that the city is taking into account and potentially
Okay.
fixing?
Automatic
Do you
versus
know,
not
like, do you know who I need to contact or how that?
Yeah, I can find out. I just want to make sure I understand the question. It's probably the city's Department of Transportation Services. So I'll follow up with them.
Hey, Mike, this is Logan again. Just to clarify, Morgan, so we can't submit a request to do a traffic study from the Department of Transportation Services. Just want to make sure you got the intersections right for those crosswalks. You said Atkinson and Ala Moana Boulevard, and then also McCully and Kapiolani, or yeah?
Specifically when it comes to the pedestrian. Yeah. So
Got it.
thank you. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else on the board have anything? Okay, now people, okay, thank you. Good evening.
Hi, Mike, Karen Lynn. Again, I add my thanks for the wall finally getting done. I went by the bridge that you mentioned that has the water line, and one of the boards that is supposed to restrict people from getting onto the bridge is gone. So if it's closed because it's not safe, which I have a doubt, but you know, that's not for me to say. It needs to be either put back or the bridge taken down. I've also seen people walking across the Alaniu stream on the pipe, so it's an issue. The other question I had, and you may not have the answer, but if you could give I had a question about the gutter that placed along from McCully Street all the way past, well, up until now Marco Polo. Looks like it's going to keep going. Just pieces of the gutter, and it's not clear at all what the project is about. Do you have any idea?
I don't, but I can.
It's on the
ask.
Mackay side of Kapiolani Boulevard. What is
Okay.
the number of the, somebody who could talk about street projects?
Yeah, that's more than likely the city's Department of Facility Maintenance that does that work. But I can follow up with them to see if they have a project going on or something. I think I have a location.
Okay. What department is it?
I think it's probably the Department of Facility Maintenance. That's something they
That's
would
your
typically do.
department, right?
I'm Environmental Services.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, next, Laura.
Hi, good evening, Mike. This is Laura Ruby. Yes, 2 quick things. Thank you for checking on that.
Laura, we need you to go.
Oh, I can't go over here. Oh. Danger you have right there. All those words and everything.
There you go. Sorry about that. Just got to get you on camera.
Okay. Thanks. Camera, where's the camera?
Right over there.
Okay, okay. Oh, this is broken now. Okay.
Okay,
So-
see, we got everything for you.
Okay, so I don't know. Thank you very much. Okay, first of all, Michael, thank you so much for checking onto the Houston demo street. We have a real big one today, and I'm guessing that that's an old property, and it may have contaminants in the soil, or who knows, just plain old soil. And the fact is, it's loose dirt or soil, and it's probably blowing into the Alanayo, and it would be a good idea that they put up those black barriers to keep the dirt down. So thank you very much. The other thing is, I went to the Manoa Town Hall last night, and the mayor's town hall that we're supposed to go to in our district, I don't know if this is something wrong with this. Okay, thank you. Okay, sorry for taking so much time. It's in April. It's at 6:30 at the Manoa District Park, but they mumbled the actual date it was. So do you happen to have it in front of you? It's something or the other.
Sure, it's
Yeah.
April April 25th.
Actual date. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, one more. Yes, his name's Mike. And what's your name?
My name is also Mike. Hi, Mike. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Mike.
This is my first meeting. I think I missed my chance. I think the right person was HFD. But there is a big explosion in my building and like a Looney Tunes style accident. No, like the frame up. Talk to figure out. I don't think we guess is in my building, but no, I'm unknowingly in danger of something like that happening to my unit, or any of my neighbors are having the same issue. Is that a HFD question or a HPD question?
You know, I'm not sure. It's probably HFD or HPD, but actually the mic was going in and out there, so I didn't catch the full question. Sorry about that.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I'll try to rephrase it shortly. If there is an explosion in an apartment building, and you want to make sure that you're not at risk for a similar explosion, what department would you contact? Would it be a HFD or HPD to figure out what happened? It was like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I'd have to ask around about that. I'm not sure. I mean, I think you'd want to talk to your. Yeah, I guess the question is you want to find out what the cause of the explosion was, and then make sure that that's not going to happen where you live. Yeah, I mean, maybe something HPD could respond to if you if you had the location of the building, that might help in their response.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
I would also check the fire department. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, anybody else have a question for Mike? Going once, twice. Thank you, Mike.
Aloha, thank you.
Next we have University of Hawaii Manoa. Elmer is not going to be here, but Laura Ruby is she's got some things to talk about on this one. Yeah, well.
Yes, this will be less than a minute. I did email this to Elmer Kai, and he's very busy at the legislative activities he's doing. But this is in regard to the long range, the new master plan at UH. And so this is what I ask him. And these are questions that you can see are data driven, and we have not received any data, yes, on it. So I said, hi, Elmer, remember in the past, I asked you about dorm occupancy. Are the dorms 100% occupied? If not, how many open slots are there? Second, also, what are the food court hours? Why has there not been a bid for delicious food and drinks there? And why do they close so early? Because they could be kept open for community study groups and with food and beverages. And another one, how many recreational areas are there? What is the number of students using these facilities and what is the capacity? How many community study areas are there? I know Sinclair is a work in progress. And what is the number of students using these areas in the day, afternoon, and evenings? And as you might realize from my questions, many of us are concerned about the new, quote unquote, master plan. And that is the constricting of the campus. That's the bottom line for that. And the lack of data for this plan and the collaborative groupings of faculty, students, staff, grads, undergrad students, community members was never done. I was a consulting party on this and they constricted everything. There was zillions of pages of reports, but they really do not consider that there were other people involved, namely all of us. So I would like, I'm reading it now to put it in the record, and I'm sure that Elmer will add to it next time. Thank you very much.
Okay, I didn't ask, anybody else have any questions for University Y? I didn't ask the board, no? Anybody? Or was the other one? Okay, sounds good. Moving along to the governor's representative, Matthew. There we go.
Good evening. My name is Matt Devanch. I'm the governor's representative. I do have an update from last month's meeting. Somebody had asked if the state's homelessness coordinator, John Mizuno, could join Sam Moku in a briefing to the board, a discussion with the board about homelessness issues. So John Mizuno's office has been in touch with Sam Moku's office, and it sounds like from Mike's report today, we may have a month in which they can both come down and address the board. So they'll be in touch with each other and then getting ready to come to the board about that. As far as anything from this month, it is Tsunami Awareness Month. The governor proclaimed it Tsunami Awareness Month. I did take a look at the tsunami evacuation maps, and there are parts of McCully, Moiliili that are within the tsunami evacuation zone. So it does bear, people should keep in mind that there is a danger from tsunamis here in this district. The advice is to have a to-go bag ready at all times for any kind of emergency, but also for tsunamis. That go bag would have supplies in it, also important documents, things you might need that you can grab at a moment's notice if the tsunami is approaching. And while we do have sirens that will activate, I think people are aware of the signs of a tsunami, shaking ground, the sea suddenly receding. If you see anything like that, get to higher ground as soon as you can. But other than that, I'd be happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Okay, anybody have any questions? Tsunami now. Was it the fourth floor in the high rises by the fourth floor? Yeah?
That's
Okay.
correct. And, I think people should keep in mind that they should check with the building that they're in to ensure that, it's the type of building that can withstand a tsunami as long as you're at a certain floor or above.
Okay, anybody else have any questions? No? Okay, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Chair. This is Daisy. I have a question.
Sorry. Daisy, go ahead.
Okay. This is for the governor regarding that, affordable housing units to get several detached dwellings on the same property. Please remember, I hope the governor understands, each dwelling on the same property needs to have their own electrical and water meters. Whether somebody's using it or not, there's a minimum charge per dwelling. That's how the Board of Water has told me, that they don't charge by the just that one address. If there's 2 or 3 dwellings, they charge for each separate dwelling, and the bill goes to the same address if that's how it's made out. So please make sure that the governor and the legislatures understand that it's not only to build affordable dwellings within the same lot. But also each one needs to have electrical and water meters, which would be automatically a minimum charge, roughly about $130 per month per unit, whether it's used or not. So that all goes to the property owner. And the bill will be like, if you have one big property, you can have just one bill. If you have 10 small properties, that's 10 times of whatever the price is. So I hope he and the legislatures understand that that's how it's charged. So it does make no sense to completely increase the density just because you think that your family would want to live next to you. It could be that you could rent it out, you could sell it, anything. So please remember, I don't know what his thought is. It's a good policy for affordable, but please think it carefully. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else? Great, that was it? Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Now, board business. We need to do approval for.
No.
Okay, so I need approval from the board to written summaries for the video record for Thursday, January 4th meeting. So we need and March 7th. What we need is a yay and nay, you know? Yeah, I need a motion to approve those two minutes for the meetings, the video record for January 4th and March 7th. Anybody want to see? Okay. Need a second. And who'll second that one? Who?
I will.
The roll call. Good. Good. You need to pull that up. Okay, anybody have any objections, abstentions on that? No? Okay. Then we're approved. All righty, that was pretty easy. Next one was one that came up last meeting, was changing the location neighborhood board meeting. Now, some people have voiced their opinion. They weren't happy with this location. I've looked around the Japanese Cultural Center. They have some nice rooms there. I don't know what anybody else wants, because I'm fine being right here. Okay, just let you know. The only thing I mind is that when they have the karate class going, that's a little bit different for me, because I don't speak Japanese. But what do you guys think? Is this okay? Anybody have any, they don't want to do that, or we stay right here?
Love it, right?
Okay.
I think that,
Wasn't it?
Michelle, I think the Japanese Cultural Center might be nice. And like you said, it's potentially quieter, I think, because those karate classes are pretty loud.
Yeah. So all those in favor of,
My biggest question would just to be about if there's good AV support there. My only kind of like complaint about this space is that when we're talking, we're not able to look directly in the camera. I mean, I guess I can directly look in the camera, but I can't see people as well. We don't default look into the camera here. So it would be if we were able, it was able to support a configuration that better allowed whoever is speaking and on the mic to be in the camera, then I think that would be a better experience for hybrid.
What about costs? And if you go to Japanese Cultural Center, what about parking? Do they charge for parking? But do they charge, or is it?
You know what, I haven't.
That's what I'm thinking. And what about the cost for the meeting space?
I have not, I've not gone into that. I haven't gone out and traced anything.
We pay for this space, right?
Wait, look.
Yeah, so your guys' facilities are all paid for by my office. It's all built into each board's budget. It depends on the board, depending on where you guys meet. Some boards have more expensive meeting places, others meet in free spaces. I believe the district park lets you guys come here free of charge, just because it's a city facility. And so they like having you guys here, right? You guys are in your community and stuff. I always recommend to my boards, if you guys want to change your meeting location, best course of action is for the board to kind of come to a consensus on where you guys want to go, right? If you guys were all in agreement, oh, we think the Japanese Culture Center, it's going to be a better location, even if it costs a little bit, at that point, if the board passes a motion that they wanted to move there, my office would then do a site visit before the next meeting. And then at that point, we could either negotiate a contract and just see about if it's even like a realistic option, basically. But definitely getting those ideas, whether it's the Japanese Cultural Center or someplace else, to me and my office as soon as possible is always best, because we can pretty much cross locations off a list, right? If, this place can't accommodate you guys for whatever reason.
Thank you.
So it goes back to, I have not gone there to look around. I've gone to a meeting there once. The room was half the size of this. Parking actually, for the meeting that I went to, parking was free. I understand they have other rooms. Like I said, I've not gone in there to look for a meeting room. I think that by the next meeting, which I'll do, next meeting I'll go around and search some places out, check things out. It's just, we went to the Waikiki board meeting at the Alawai Golf Course. Now that meeting room could hold 1,000 people, and there were like 20 of us there. It was just, I was going, what's going on here? But I think that that's why I thought of the Japanese Culture Center, because it's a little bit smaller, a little more intimate. I mean, we have 20, 25 people coming and listen to our meetings. So.
What exactly are you looking for in the new room?
Big enough space for us. The cameraman will be there anyhow.
So the main goal is just to find a bigger space.
A little more quiet, or like I said, I'm okay with this place. So I'm going to do it just to report to you guys. This is what I found. This is what I think.
Do you mind taking pictures?
You would like me to take pictures?
I think that'd be probably helpful for us to see.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right. Okay, question?
I'm pretty much happy with this place. I always liked Washington School though, but I guess that place is no longer available.
I'll go there and I'll ask them also, because I like that one also. That was nice.
I thought that was a really nice place.
We need more parking.
Parking, yes. So that's what I'll do, is I'll take it upon myself to go around, search a couple of places and see what it came up. That St. Mary's across from McDonald's on King Street, that was way too small for us. So I'm not going to go there.
It's okay for the COVID time.
Yeah, you guys, if you go around and look, take pictures, and then I'll include it in our discussion next month also. Sounds good? Okay. Any questions? No? Okay. Where were we?
Thank you, Paul.
All right. Next, board representatives for Citizen Advisory Committee. Laura, is that what these are for?
Yeah, but Chris, I think will take the lead on this.
Okay, Chris, go ahead.
I believe Laura passed out some index cards. If you have any traffic or street issues that you would like to bring up, feel free to write the notes down on that and hand them in to me, and I'll present them at the UMPO meeting for suggestions on how to make our streets safer.
When is your meeting? When is that?
I believe it's the first Tuesday of the month.
So we passed it already. So
Yeah,
it'll be next
it'll be
month.
for next month.
Okay, so, could you send me an email
Sure.
and then I'll send it to everybody else and we'll get together on this one? Yes, Morgan. What's it? Oh, okay. So, yeah, just send it to me and then I'll get it to the rest of you guys. Okay.
Excuse me,
Next.
Chair, this is Daisy. Correction on the date of the OMPO meeting. It's the
Oh.
first Wednesday. They had it yesterday at 2:30.
So Wednesday, okay, next. Okay, we know
At
that.
2:30. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, sir. No, you have to.
Aloha, Ian Ross. I just want to note that I recently read that the Oahu MPO is releasing the revised #1 overall work program for 2024 to 2025. And they're actually soliciting comments from the community right now. And that's going to close on Friday, April 12th. So before Member Salasa gets the opportunity to actually join them for their first meeting, they will have already closed this. So I would definitely encourage folks to consider submitting it. And if you'd like, Chair, I can forward this email to you.
Yeah.
And you can forward it to the board.
Sure.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, Chris, I know you mentioned that you attend these meetings for work. When you go, are you planning on operating as yourself or as a representative of the board?
A representative of the board. I was in the past just kind of listening in with other people from my job taking the lead on that.
Got it. Yeah. So for any time a board member submits testimony at a meeting, whether it's a public meeting or in a closed meeting, it's always best for the board to just pass a quick motion, just saying that, oh, we select Chris, you as the representative of the board. That way, when you're at these meetings, you can speak for the whole of the board, if that makes sense. Because without that type of action, board members really should just be providing testimony as an individual. But yeah, if Paul, you want to entertain a motion to select a representative, now would be the time as well.
Okay. Okay, let's select a member as the member that goes to meetings that's on the board. Community members, yeah. Anybody? Any volunteers for that? Okay.
And then real quick, I believe you said in an email, Logan, about each board could have two. Is that true?
Yeah, so I'm not too familiar. I can't speak for OMPO, but I know that traditionally it's usually the chair always has an open invitation to the meetings, just as the chair. And then a lot of times what a board will do is they'll select one other member, whether that's a board member or a community member, and they sort of act as a person that goes to meetings. They make sure they're taking notes, and then even if you wanted, that could be something that the board might have interest being as an actual agenda item. That way, every month you can provide a report from the OMPO meetings. Yeah.
Okay. So getting back, we have a motion to nominate you for this OMPO meeting. Okay, all those in favor? Oh, yeah, I need a motion. Okay, John. And a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Take a look. Voice vote, here we go. Morgan? Are there any objections? Sorry. Any objections? No? And I guess he's it. You have been nominated. Elected.
Thank you, Chris. I can start handing him comments now, right?
So get to work. Anyhow, that's what these cards are for up here on our desk. If you have any questions you want to have answered, just jot them down and give them to him. Okay. Okay, next. Letter to support for illegal game room package. Bill 57, Bill 58, Resolution 23-228. That one, Okay, anybody have any questions first? Okay. Yeah, Ian's the one who's, okay, Ian.
Thank you very much, Chair. Ian Ross again. So I do have some updates related to these packages. So the City Council Zoning Committee did have a hearing on these bills yesterday. There was a 9 a.m. agenda. I think we finally got to it around 1:30 p.m. So it was really packed. We had a lot of testifiers. At this stage, 6 or 7 of our neighborhood boards have passed some type of letter in support of Bill 57 and 58. And as a little bit of a reminder and refresher from last month, these bills essentially allow DPP and HPD to coordinate on being able to issue fines to landlords who allow the continuation of their properties to be used for illegal game rooms. One really simple way I often put this is back in the day when there was a raid on a legal game room, it would pop up somewhere else. These days, it just reopens in the same spot over and over again. That's one of the key differences. And we think that this is a really big problem. And because of the fact they don't have to continuously look and there's very little pressure on them, this is one reason we believe the number has swelled to about 100 on Oahu currently, which is more than the number of McDonald's and 7-Elevens combined. So we were really happy with the amount of outreach from neighborhood boards, those who passed the letters and otherwise. But I believe most moving was the participation of some of the children who came out. There were some kids who were talking about how illegal game rooms continue to operate right next door to their elementary schools. And I think it showed a lot of bravery and a lot of dedication for the students to come out and sit there for 4.5 hours to come out and testify. And I thought that was a good show of civic engagement. So one thing I want to highlight was it turned out that the chair, Calvin Say, our council member, did decide to defer the measure today at 2 p.m. He seemed to have indicated, my best recollection, and if he staffs here, if I'm incorrect here, please clarify. I would take absolutely no offense. But my understanding is he's proposed or he's in the process of writing a letter to continue the discussion to HPD, DPP, the prosecutors, and Corporation Counsel. A lot of these concerns were previewed by Janelle at the last meeting. If you recall, she briefly brought up there's some concern about mixing of the types of laws, the sort of civil fines with actual like felonies and other criminal charges, and that this basically would require Corporation Counsel and the prosecutors to get a little bit in each other's business. My view continues to be that, that's true for many types of laws, so let's not draw an arbitrary line now. We're talking about community safety, but it feels pretty good in terms of some progress in the discussion. So I just wanted to give you folks that update and invite this board to join this grassroots movement for safer communities. Thank you very much, Chair. Happy to answer any questions.
Okay, questions? No questions? None for the board?
No.
None from the,
No questions.
yeah.
Sure. Okay. So again, when I was saying inviting you to join this grassroots effort, I think it would be really fantastic if your board were to pass a motion to for a letter that's been in your Google Drive. Currently, that's a template. So the motion would include amendments to add your board's name, for example. And if you were to do this, you'd be the 7th or 8th board to pass it. And actually, right now, as we speak, I believe the Downtown Chinatown Neighborhood Board is also hearing a similar letter. So I invite you to join this grassroots effort to pass this letter in support. Thank you very much.
I have one question, okay? The letter that you're proposing us to do, what does that say? We don't want those game rooms. We want you to get rid of them forever. What I don't understand.
Very good. So the letter essentially does do a brief summary of some of the harms that illegal game rooms do in the community. It defines what Bill 57 and 58 does, and it calls upon the chair to pass these bills and for the city council to pass these bills. I'm not making any promises that these bills are going to close down every single game room. It's just an extra tool in the toolbox. Right now, people who invest in game rooms, people who are operating them and, kind of set them up, they are at stake for losing their property during raids. People who are operating them might be facing different types of criminal charges. But as it stands right now, landlords face very little disincentive. And this allows a lot of landlords to pretend that they don't know the illegal game room is open for the fourth time on their property. And this would just introduce the ability to find them. And we believe this will do a lot to cut down on the number. And again, I'm not promising perfection. I just think this would be another tool in the toolbox for HPD to keep our community safe.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that if you go up and down King Street, you know where the bars are that they're, I mean, you don't need a road map, they're there. And it's like, I don't want to make an analogy, but it's like homeless. They're here one day, we move them over here, they just keep moving around. There's no stopping it. So that's the part that, I don't know.
But I completely agree that this is not a problem that we're solving per se. What it is doing is it's disincentivizing, it's adding friction to the system. It makes it harder to continue to operate. One of the things that we're seeing as they proliferate is a lot more violence. And there's talk about, potentially one group of illegal game room operators kind of harassing another group because they're sort of getting in each other's turf. And in this sense, what we're seeing is encroaching and more of people trying to just get the most money and to push out competition. If we were to simmer things down by making it harder to operate illegal game rooms, I believe we'd see a decrease in the number and then perhaps a decrease in the types of violence we're seeing, which has been including murders and assaults. I believe there was a really famous 2017 case right down the street in McCully. We, of course, have heard cases about a loss of life due to an overdose on Kapiolani just last year. In McKeekee, there was someone who came in, stole about $20,000 of cash and kidnapped several people. And they unfortunately weren't able to make the charges stick because no one wanted to report it to the police because they were all afraid. So I just see this as a hotbed of crime, and this is an opportunity to push back on that. Thank you, Chair.
Sure. I don't want to keep throwing my things in. Go ahead, Dave. I'll go after you.
I just want to ask a question. You talk about putting this onto the landlords to basically inspect their properties or know what's going on in order to avoid being punished for what other tenants do on their property. But doesn't it seem like that's putting too big of a burden on the owners they have to go around every so often to inspect and see what's going on? And what about if you're an out-of-state landowner? And how could you possibly know if this person you rented it to has set up an illegal gaming room?
Great question. So as it currently stands, after your property has had a warrant and there's been a rating of the property and an assessment and charges brought, the owners are notified by HPD and DPP, is my understanding. They're given some type of letter. They're informed there's criminal activity going on in your property. This is what we found during a raid. So we already have an outreach process. And right now, we're just playing a game with many landlords being able to say, well, I didn't know. I haven't personally seen it after the second, third, fourth raid. When people are doing types of nuisance activities, things that major criminal activities, you as a landlord have a lot of capacity to take action and evict tenants under those sort of circumstances, especially when they're business and not so much like individuals. And this would just be something that would already slot into an existing system. But it is a very good question.
So is there any laws or policies already that landlords are responsible for what happens in their property? Is that kind of standard practice?
So I wouldn't be saying there's like criminal cases, and I would definitely refer to anyone who is an attorney, and I believe you do have an attorney on your board for the most specific answer for that. But right now, what we're talking about is fines through DPP. And there's a range of fines that can exist for certain types of activities. This would just clarify what would identify as a legal game room and under what circumstances a landlord could be fined, along with the amount and the frequency.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very good questions.
I have one more.
Absolutely.
It just did, oh God, it's going to be terrible, but illegal gambling, okay? I can't get my fingers around it going, it's illegal gambling, but on the television, they're telling me to go to Las Vegas.
Yes.
Gamble on television, just send your money in. And I don't understand, gambling is going to go on forever. And I don't think, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I just kind of have a feeling that that's kind of, we're not using that money in the first place in the right direction. We could use it for homelessness. We could use it for anything.
So what I would say is we're already spending the money and the time rating these facilities. This would be a tool to actually get them to shut down after we do like a SWAT raid. Because right now you raid it, you confiscate the property, they buy new stuff, they reopen it. So this would just be a tool to actually make it stick. And I think when I actually reduce costs in the long run. The other aspect there is, and I know the common rejoinder is, you know, we have illegal gambling because there's lack of legal gambling. I would say whether or not we legalize gambling in Hawaii in the long term, this would still be common sense legislation to pass. Because even in places where gambling is legal, we still see illegal game rooms operating in those places. And so I think this would work well under either status quo. And I wanted to add one other thought to that. You know, it's often the case when you're dealing with nuisance behavior that no law is going to absolutely stop any type of activity. But what you want to do is give law enforcement, prosecutors, and people in civil service the tools to be able to reduce harms and to reduce frequency. And, you know, that's why, you know, murder on the extreme end is illegal, and yet we're still seeing at these facilities and these illegal game rooms. But you try to set up things to allow you to decrease the type of nuisance activities you don't want to see, and to try to make that community safety, despite the fact that you know someone's going to break the rules. But all very good questions. I think I saw another question in the back. That's up to Chair if he recognized you, of course.
Yeah, sorry, just a quick, I'm all in favor of everyone educating themselves about the topic. I would just recommend before any more discussion that if Chair, you would entertain a motion to approve the letter. It doesn't mean you guys have to go through with the motion, right? It just means you guys are discussing it.
So, Laura?
No, go ahead and do that. I just have a comment to make, if I could. Do you want now or later?
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, gambling brings in huge revenues for the state and the city and county. And so what happens is it all goes offshore, as Paul was saying. And if you bring it onshore, part of it is that we have a certain conservative, probably religious groups that have been opposed to gambling forever. And if you bring it in with the lottery, people have talked about putting it on Hawaiian homelands where it could be small casinos, or putting it offshore. You actually will bring the revenue in a legal way, and eventually over time, it will reduce the number of people that go into these illegal spots. Thank you.
Again, my thing is that whether or not that's true, whether or not we legalize gambling in Hawaii in the long term, I think this would still be a useful bit of legislation to combat illegal game rooms, which continue to operate in places where gambling is legal. But I take your point kindly that that might be a revenue source.
Okay. Go ahead.
I make a motion to adopt the letter.
Second. Ready? Okay, Dave Barber, second. Okay, so we're in. Okay. Okay, any more discussion on this? Actually, yeah. Any discussion with the board on this letter? Do we have a copy of this letter? Okay, so has everybody read that letter? Okay. So. I can't even see that. Oops. 1 second, we're trying to get the letter up there. And do you want to read it for us?
Sure, if you like me to.
Sure.
All right. I'm going to attempt to go really fast through the reading to respect everyone's time. Dear council member, you would insert your council member's names here. That would be council member Calvin Say, council chair Tommy Waters, and council members. You would define your neighborhood board here, of course, urges the hearing and passage of Bill 57 and 58 and Resolution 23-228. This game rooms package provide additional tools for the Honolulu Police Department and other city agencies to deter and shut down illegal game rooms on Oahu. Gamers have long plagued Oahu, bring guns, drugs, crime into our neighborhoods. In 2022, for example, a man was shot and killed outside of a game room near the Hawaii Convention Center. 6 months later, 4 men attempted to rob an illegal game room room in McCully, firing several rounds with an AR-style rifle. And if you'd like to insert a few examples, which I included in a previous presentation, you could here. On November 14th, the downtown Chinatown, Hawaii Kai, Makiki Lower Punch Bowl, Tantalus neighborhood boards hosted a joint meeting to discuss the issue. The meeting, which included a panel of HBD, Mike Lambert, council members Tyler DeSantos Tam, and Calvin Say, found that game rooms often proliferate because of inadequate penalties. This is due in part to the fact that existing city ordinances primarily target game room operators, not landlords. As a result, a game room is shut down, one often takes its place. The joint meeting also discussed potential solutions, including game room package. It is found that Bill 57 would create additional penalties up to $150,000 in fines, and for your information, $1,000 a day. For landlords who allow game rooms on their properties, and Bill 58 would allow greater collaboration between HPD and the Department of Planning and Permitting. In light of these findings, your neighborhood board finds that game room package would provide additional tools for city agencies in curbing illegal game rooms. Accordingly, we urge the Honolulu City Council to hear and pass this package into law. Our board will continue to partner with fellow neighborhood boards and continue to support these bills. Thank you for your consideration of our request. We greatly appreciate being updated on these bills as they progress through the hearings and approval process. Mahalo, Chair Rabadi.
Good reading.
Thank you.
Okay. Should we adopt? Any more discussion? I think we've, okay, we'll vote. Please,
It just sounds so good.
talk. Talking to you, Mike.
Sorry. Oh, nothing. Okay, so it sounds wonderful, but I hear things, it's sort of scary at the same time. So I like the idea, but I'm not sure. I wouldn't want to. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I like the idea. I think it sounds wonderful. If we could get cash coming in, that would be great. It sounds very good. However, there's just certain parts that scare me. I wouldn't want to run one of those or own one of those, but somebody might. I'm not always here, so I think it needs discussion or something more from us. Thank you.
Okay, should we take a vote? Yeah, we're going to do a roll call to vote on this one.
Okay, so the current motion on the table is to approve a letter of support for the illegal game term package. It was made by Member Salas and seconded by Dave Barber. Allred? Barber?
I vote in favor of it.
Duvall? DeVilbiss? Galdera? Kachuk? You're muted, Michelle. We can't hear you.
No,
Is that sorry, did you say no?
correct. I said no.
Thank you. Kim?
No.
Kohler? Lee?
Yes.
Quadri?
Yes.
Salas?
Yes.
Solomon? Rabadi?
Yes.
Chair, the motion does not carry with 6 ayes, 3 nays, and 0 abstentions.
Back to the drawing board.
Well, I want to thank you all for taking the time in the last 2 meetings.
Thank you. Okay. Next, we have, oh, did you have something else you wanted to say, Laura?
Not about this issue, but the next issue.
The next one, okay. Okay, number E, resolution to preserve the legacy and mission of the College of Education at the University of Hawaii Manoa campus in place. Helen, is Helen here? There's Helen. Thanks for coming by.
Want to sit down?
I'm just thinking, I don't know if y'all hear me.
Yeah, do you want to sit down or sit up?
Standing up. Oh, okay. All right, I guess, to,
Make sure you talk to the.
to open this, I wanted to say that, there is a plan at the University of Hawaii to, make the faculty move from the present location where they are, which is on Metcalf and University. They have 14 acres. And that the plan now is by the President Lasner's article that appeared in the paper and also in talking to faculty at the College of Education, that Lasner wants to create some type of a university town on that land and just totally remove all College of Education. And they would be given a building across the campus that is not built yet. And of course, we know how the state, how things are. Sometimes things are never built that are supposed to be built. And I'm a retired faculty member from the college. I was there 25 years. And I think the legacy and mission of that college is very important. I feel, and I'm sure that many of you do, that public education is extremely important. And teacher education is very important in Hawaii, as well as research and education and the training of administrators. And this has been something that's been, even though it was publicized in the newspaper in September, most people don't know anything about it. So my resolution is that the land that the college is on should be preserved for education and should not be bartered away to some type of a private-public enterprise, creating a mini shopping center and sort of an entertainment area for students, rather than being a place of education. And so the resolution that I have copies of this, if people don't need copies of it, if they need copies, I have printed copies. But the resolution would be it resolved that the University of Hawaii at Manoa not relinquish the College of Education land for non-College of Education use in any public-private agreement. And be it resolved that the University of Hawaii maintain exclusive control of College of Education land for the future development of the College of Education to better serve the mission and needs for public education in Hawaii. And so anyway, I'm presenting this partly to inform you as to what might happen and that what faculty is afraid is going to happen. And so I would like to get your support for the College of Education remaining, having their land. And if there's funding for a new building for the college, 2 times in the past, since I came to Hawaii as a professor in 1985, we had planned to have new buildings. And then at the last minute, they were never funded. So we have been teaching in our classes all over the campus. So if there's money for a new building, the land is there, right there by the Wist Hall and Everly Hall and the lab school and other buildings that are on that land. And also, it's a beautiful piece of land. We have landscaping, we have a lot of green grass and lawn, and it's right near the entrance to the university. So it adds a great deal to the neighborhood as it is right now. And so that's the resolution that I'm bringing to the board.
Okay, thank you. Okay, what I think we should do is we should have a motion for this. Yeah, so people in favor, let's start there.
I motion to discuss it. A motion to adopt, sorry.
We have Judy seconded. Now we go to discussion. Okay, public testimony, we'll go from there. Laura? You like going up to that microphone now?
Okay, I have fairly important information because I was a consulting party to when this new plan came out at the university. First of all, it constricts the campus. We are already landlocked campus. When I go to many other colleges and universities, they're all about expanding their campus whenever they can in the periphery. This is the opposite. And what it is too is, if you think about it, as we look up University Avenue, the entrance to UH is a wide open green space on both sides. The Founder's Gate is there because it's a land grant college, and on one side is a College of Ed, the other side was Tropical Ag, and that was the coming together of the campus. Furthermore, it educates basically most of our teachers that go out into the community, and right now we're at a loss for enough teachers to go out into the community, so much so that they're actually hiring people from the Philippines to teach classes here. That's a little bit of getting used to, I'm sure. And so the other thing is that the campus, where it's situated now, the faculty, I don't know if this works or not. The faculty members go on and off campus all the time because they're advisory to go to the student teaching that's going on. And thank you. And that means they have to have access, egress, and entrance in and out of the campus, and they have it right now in that location. What is planned, and this is why the current dean, who was, I think, a physical education person who really didn't teach on that part of the campus, but down in the quarry, he surrendered to this plan. And he said that he would be okay with moving it to what is now Snyder Hall. The Snyder Hall is either going to be refurbished or, as Helen says, rebuilt. And they've already selected a second floor room. Now, second floor of the building. What good is a second floor building for something that's our major educational facility, both for all of us that go through the higher education, but also for everybody that comes out into the community. So this is a big community project, and we shouldn't surrender to something that is just looking for basically revenue, put another way, greed. And this is about the public-private, if they build it, they will come. The students right now leave the campus largely. That's why I was asking the questions earlier of Elmer. What is the data that drives this to say that there should be some entertainment area for the students? You also know that we are going to have a lot of things that go down in Puck's Alley, and that's the camel's nose under the tent. They start out with a little thing, and then they're now on the second set, and they say, oh, well, we really don't know what's going to happen over on the Puck Sally side, but it's coming. They already have the plans. They just let them out to the general public. The same way is true with this College of Ed plan. They're just saying, oh, we don't really have a plan at this time, but they really do have a plan. So I would really urge us to step in right now and say that we want the campus to be a green space. 80 to 90% of all the parents and students that come to a campus look for the landscaping as being the nice welcoming spot. And I think that it will be in our best interest, we as the community, to approve this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Okay, we have Daisy.
Thank you, Chair. I also had classes at the College of Education years ago, and it's a great place. My question is, doesn't the UH also own some property by Diamond Head Theater, which if don't act on it right away, they might lose their property. So I don't understand why it has to be at that particular location when you already have another property close by over at Diamond Head Theater, which they should. Why don't they have it there? Then the school students and faculty, whatever, can do their own thing there, have a little mini park, whatever they want to do. But as far as where they want to plan, doesn't make sense because, as you know, UH also needs a lot of parking, and green space works great. So things you need to think about. Thank you.
All right, anybody else?
Sure.
Okay.
I was not a college student that recently, but my take had been on the UH campus experience has always felt like it's extremely dead and that they don't have very much student programming at all. So I guess I would naturally be in favor of having far more programming for students. I know that Kamehameha Schools is going to bring some new shopping and retail to what's over in Pucks Alley right now, but I don't know if there's any other plans to bring something like that. Whenever I walk around other big state schools, they have really robust university towns and so forth, which I've always felt is really missing and not really a part of the student experience here. Also, if you like go to a game, for instance, there's not a lot of things to do immediately afterwards. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm coming from.
Could I make a comment? In the kind of renovations that are going on at the university, there is a lot of spare land around the campus center, the new exercise room building that they have. And so they're actually removing a lot of portables. Krause Hall is going to be demolished. There's a lot of room in other places rather than the College of Education space. And so I think and also even some of the places that they have right now could be kept open longer rather than closing at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So, I think that the idea of having a place for students, particularly undergraduates who don't live away, who may live on campus or want to come to stay at the campus, that's fine, but it doesn't have to be taking the place of education for the whole state.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Allison Peterson. I hear what you're saying, Morgan, that, we'd like some more activity and whatnot. I have been watching for decades how Pucks Alley just changes, establishments. And yeah, it is a little bit dead. I think the new building that they put across the street has a lot more life in it. But I do agree with her. I think that we should wait. I think it's a little premature to, establish something new. I think maybe they can look at what we do have, exactly as she's saying, see what Kamehameha does at Pucks Alley and see what can be done on campus before we take away anything else and make such a huge investment, which I don't think we can afford. Right?
Yeah,
Thank you.
particularly if it was not a success.
Okay. When is this supposed to take place? This new building that's going to take place?
The university does not have very good transparency. So when I talk to faculty and different leaders, they in the college, they don't know when it's going to take place. They think it is, but and they're kind of planning for a new building, but they don't know. Nobody really knows because a lot of, but I'm sure all of you are very sensitive to Hawaiian history and also the fact that we as an island state, have to be very concerned about any kind of land grabs. And so I'm sure all of you had watched TV or read the newspaper about all the concern about land in Maui. And people who know the history of Hawaii immediately stepped in to prevent developers from taking the land in Maui. And so I think the fact that this land would be actually taken away from the university and the college is a great concern. Because once it's taken away and they spin those bulldozers in and all that, you're not going to get it back. And there's not any other land around there. So anyway, I'm quite concerned about it. And so
Okay, we have another person, Michelle.
Yes, just a question. So, just in reference to what you just said about the land being taken, and in the resolution that the university needs to maintain control, is it that the university is selling this land to a developer?
I don't know what the land arrangement would be, but it's possible the land could be given very cheaply to some developer. Well, money, 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 right? How would you like to get a whole bunch of land for nothing so that you could develop this profit seeking enterprise? So it's just like, we don't know who it is that wants to get that land or what the arrangement would be. If it was given to someone who's going to maintain this new operation. And if it's sold, I even have the question as to the legality of selling state land. And if it's leased, then that's also a question. It's a very muddy type thing, and that a lot of the important details are not actually known because of the lack of transparency.
Right. Okay, but no information has been provided to date that they're selling or giving away any of this land.
Well, in Lasner's article in the newspaper, and also when talking to people, it's been said that the entire parcel of land would go to this new idea of a university town. And so that's, someone, who knows, but it's the entire thing, possibly even the teepee, where the teepee station was.
Okay. Any other questions from the audience? Okay. Board discussion. Okay, we have a discussion with the board, yeah? Okay, anybody have any questions or anything you want to say about this? No, nobody has any thoughts? In my mind is, it's all general right now, is not knowing what the timetable is. It could be 2 years, 20 years from now. So, and from now, the way we look at it might change in 5 years, what we want that land to be. But I understand that. I have my thoughts are, now where are all these teachers going to go, this new high rise? You look around town, you see how long it takes to build a high rise. First to get the permit and all, you're talking 5, 8 years. So I don't know. Wait, just this is just a board one. Anybody else have anything else to say? Nobody.
I think I'm concerned partly because Lasner is retiring and this is his wish to build this before he retires. And
Legacy.
I've been told that often this happens, that leaders who are getting ready to retire do something like this.
Okay. Mookie?
Yeah, I think I have concerns about the university deprioritizing the School of Education. As a former public school teacher, I think we should not be, making the education program, especially given the state of DOE right now and the shortage of public school teachers that we have. So this is concerning. I would ask Helen to find out more information about these plans because it seems like we don't really have a clear sense of what is actually on the table. And so I would be much more supportive of a resolution like this if there were a little bit more concrete detail about what the actual plan is. And for example, if the university is actually also planning to cut back on or make smaller the School of Education budget, because that would be very, very concerning.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And congratulations on your baby. Okay.
Thank you. Handful.
There you go. There you go. What's we doing? Yeah, I think that the discussion seems to be over. It hasn't really started. I think that if we took a vote, what we'd want to do, then we can do that. But first, I owe it to Laura because she's been wanting to say one thing. And go ahead.
One thing. I can say it from right here.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, it's basically, if I put it in blunt terms, it's to tell them to back off of this design. And that's what we're asking to do at this early stage. They, other Puck Sally people backed off 3 or 4 times when community groups came in. This is a real good opportunity for us to say, hold off, go back to a plan to keeping things as they should be.
Yeah, that's what kind of what I'm looking at myself. So, do motion to, we have motion, no more discussion. Oh, okay. Yes.
Hi, everyone. My name is Emma Davidson. I'm actually a current student at University of Hawaii. I haven't heard about this issue before yet, but I just feel like as a student, there's already a lot going on campus for students. I feel like Campus Center has a lot of activities for students to do, and I think taking away a place that we don't know necessarily has a place to go to yet, I think it's a bad idea. So I just think as a student, I think they need to have a better plan of where this is going to go and have something already built, just because, like you said, a lot of the time they make plans and it never happens. So I think taking away the space before they're having somewhere to go is a bad idea for students.
Real quick. Wait. You have to get up there.
Honestly, I don't feel like there's a need for more activities. I think that to me, the campus already feels like it has a lot of opportunity for that. I think if they wanted to do that, it would just be a good addition, but I don't think there's a need for it. And I do think there's a lot of other spaces on campus they can do this too. I don't think it's just that one spot. Yeah, I think that's all I had to say.
Okay. Discussion's over. We'll just go for a vote. Yeah. Let's go for a vote. All those in favor of adopting Helen's resolution, say aye.
We're doing another roll call vote.
I thought just aye. No. Yeah, okay, let's do roll call. Thank you. There you go.
Okay, so the current motion on the table is to adopt the resolution to preserve the legacy and mission of the College of Education at the University of Hawaii Manoa campus in place. It was made by Member Salas and seconded by Member DeVilbiss. Allred? Barber?
Aye.
Duvall? DeVilbiss?
Aye.
Galdera?
Aye.
Kachuk?
No.
Kim?
Aye.
Kohler?
Aye.
Lee?
Can I vote present?
Sorry?
Can I vote present?
Present? I know or an abstention.
Abstain.
Yeah, thank you. Quadri? Quadri? Anwar, if you're there, you're muted. Salas?
Aye.
Solomon? Rabati?
Aye.
The motion does pass, Chair, with 7 ayes, 1 no, and 2 abstentions.
Okay, next.
Say it.
Okay, number F, reminder for outstanding committee meeting minutes. And Logan's going to.
Yeah, so this is just a quick reminder from my office. There was we're trying to just do some housekeeping, and last October, you guys had a housing and homelessness committee meeting, and so we're just trying to track down the minutes for those. Whenever you guys get a chance, I don't know who's in charge of them. I think Lewis is the chair, and I don't know if it's on you or the secretary, but yeah, we just wanted to double check on getting those.
I'll get that to you. Thank you so much. I'll get that to you. And we're planning a meeting next month. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay, next, we'll go with the elected officials. Council member Calvin Say.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Andrew from Councilmember Say's office here. I'll be presenting the updates tonight. Councilmember Say's April 2024 newsletter is in the chat along with other helpful links. We've continued to receive community concerns regarding the overgrowth in the Alanayo stream. We followed up with the Department of Facility Maintenance and found that there are multiple work orders for Alanayo stream waiting to be fulfilled. DFM says the scheduling for overgrowth is currently backlogged and they are working hard to fulfill work orders as resources are available. We received a few reports of homeless individuals at Old Stadium Park and Moiliili Field. We are continuing to work with DFM's Stored Property Branch and HPD in enforcement of stored property ordinances and sidewalk nuisance ordinance. Additionally, we have been receiving reports of homeless individuals in the Alawai Promenade. We've been putting in requests for SPO SNOs as concerns are reported. Next, we received reports of loud construction noises coming from the property adjacent to 2873 South King Street. Our office found that the property and work is under the State Department of Transportation. We're following up with the state on questions about the type of work that they're doing and the duration. Lastly, we've received a request for more one-way signs on Pi'ikoi, notifying drivers that Pi'ikoi is one-way. We put in a request for the necessary studies and we'll follow up on the possibility of installing these signs. Other than that, that's all for me. And if there are any questions, comments, or concerns, I'll be happy to forward them to Councilmember Say.
Okay, board, anybody have a question for council member? No? Okay, audience, Laura. There you go.
Okay, good evening. Thank you. Yes, I asked Councilmember Say last night, the Manoa meeting. I asked him, what would he be agreeable to meeting with the Alawai Mauka Community Association to talk and to specifically withdraw any monies from the coming budget, the city and county budget, for any further funds for the proposed bridge over the Alawai Canal. And I haven't received a response from him. He did say he would email me back, but I haven't received a response. Second of all, he made a statement which may not have been accurate, saying in a very loose way that some of the DTS planners had said they were going to lower the supposed bridge design, but I think he's referring to the old one, lowering from 180 feet to 170 feet. That's not an accomplishment. And we're talking about something that should only be at the most 20 feet if you're talking. That's a change, okay? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Laura. I'll follow up with that with Councilmember Say.
Anybody else have any questions for council member? No?
I do.
Daryl?
Yes, hi. Question is that did Council Calvin Say receive an email in regards to the light poles that is out along the Mauka pathway behind Alawai School, Ilani School, the dog park? There's several light poles that is not working. It's dark, especially if you certain areas by the mangrove by the stream. So I was wondering if some take a look at it and maybe improve the lighting. Thank you.
Yes, Daryl, I received your email, and thank you for the specific number light poles. I did put in the requests, and I was planning on going to check it out. So thank you. I'll follow up.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, any other questions? No, thank you for coming.
Thank you. Good night.
Okay, Representative Andrew Garrett. Representative Andrew Garrett? No. Okay, Representative Scott Nishimoto.
Aloha, Chair and Board. This is Taylor on behalf of Representative Scott Nishimoto.
Hello.
Hi. Representative Nishimoto sends his regards. We're currently in conference, so we've been working on preparing the CIP budget. Otherwise, though, we wanted to let you know that this Saturday there's going to be a Genki ball toss at Alawai Canal. So right by the Alawai Golf Course, you can park over there, and there's going to be a Genki ball toss on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. But I'm happy to take back any questions to the representative.
Okay, do we have any questions for Representative Nishimoto? We have one down there. Go ahead.
Is the Genki ball toss tomorrow? Saturday night?
Nope. Try it again, just ask a question. Oh. Okay.
Sorry, it is on Saturday.
Thank you very much. The Genki ball toss is on Saturday at 9 a.m.
Yes,
Thank you.
that's correct.
Okay, now somebody else was waving a hand. Daisy.
Thank you. Hi, Taylor. Question, what is the status of the bill regarding so-called the good judgment jaywalking law? It seems that there'll be more accidents should that happen.
I don't understand the question, sorry.
Oh,
Try
okay,
that again.
sorry. Taylor, remember the legislature is listening to a law for safe jaywalk crossing. What is the status of that bill?
Okay.
Okay, hi Daisy. I'm not exactly sure on the status. I'm gonna do some research, and can I call you back tomorrow?
Oh, sure, because what it is it doesn't seem like a safe bill, because then people will think they can jaywalk anytime they want, because they use their good judgment to say the cars are not coming, and accidents, they'll go right in front of cars. So, it's kind of, doesn't seem to be a safe bill to even be heard at the legislature. So I had concerns. I'll call you later. Thank you.
I see. Okay, thank you, Daisy.
We have anybody else? No? Yes.
Hi, this is Karen Lynn again. I had two questions. The first one is about the Genki ball toss. Did you say that that's at the golf course? My understanding was that it was at the park.
Yeah, it's parking.
Can you clarify the location?
Hi, Karen. Sorry, I meant like parking at the golf course. So I'm just checking right now, just to make sure that we're on the same page. But yeah, it's at the Alawai Neighborhood Park. Yeah, actually, you're correct. I think that is, um, you're correct. It's the park closer to the Alawai Elementary School. So it's that University Ave little parking lot area. So you're right.
Okay, great, because that's, the other end of the
Yeah,
canal.
no, sorry about that.
Okay, good. My other question was, during the discussion of the letter of support for game room package, and I must say I'm at a loss as why the board is not in favor of signing the letter. But the gentleman who made the presentation, which was the same presentation as last last month, I think, said that Councilmember Say decided to defer. Can you clarify what his, what Councilmember Say's role is in having this deferred discussion? Pardon me?
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. And I guess, okay, I
Yeah.
apologize.
Oh, no. Sorry about that. Thank you. Yeah, that would be a question for the previous speaker.
Sorry.
I wonder, is Andrew there for Councilman Say? Andrew, you still there?
Hi, yes, I'm still here. So the reason why it was deferred was that Councilmember Say needed to get back to doing more research on the legal side. So there was just more follow-up. Deferred meaning that it would just be discussed. It would be discussed later.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Anybody else have any questions? Well, Charmin's on sale. Okay. Okay, Representative, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Next,
Chair.
Representative Adrian Tan.
Thank you so much. I am here tonight. You should have my newsletters over there, as well as, oh, I have to upload my newsletters online into the Google Drive. So thank you for that. We are wrapping up hearings on all Senate bills that have crossed over to the House, and at the legislature, we are preparing for conference. I want to invite everyone to the legislature on April 12th, which is a Friday. From 4:30 to 7 o'clock p.m., we'll be having Art at the Capitol. This is the 15th year we've done it. It's a good opportunity for everyone to come by and look at the works from many local artists across the state, as well as engage in the civic process and by meeting their elected officials. With that, I open it to any questions that anyone may have.
What time was that on Friday the 12th?
It starts at 4:30 and it runs to 7 o'clock.
Okay. All right, anybody else have any questions? What's up? Daisy.
Hi, thank you, Chair. I don't know if you would know what the status is regarding the so-called safe jaywalk crossing for this was it the people using good judgment to safely jaywalk. Do you know the status of that bill?
Um,
I think it was a Senate bill and then got passed over to the House for voting.
I think it is I think it is in up for third reading soon. So it is actually still alive and
Still
moving.
alive because it seems to be a dangerous thing because then pedestrians think they can cross anytime they want. Like even if they have going on traffic lights, they may think, oh, I have enough a few seconds to go across. They might even do that, go in front of cars. So I don't know why that bill was even introduced, which, just ask the pedestrians that were killed recently because it doesn't make sense. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Daisy. I actually agree with you. I do have a lot of concerns about the bill. I did vote with reservations because I do understand the meaning behind the bill is really to address how people can get to the other side of the street in rural communities. It's not necessarily made for our urban communities. So, if we can tailor that bill to have it only apply to rural communities, I think it'll be much more acceptable to the community here.
Thank you. But I
Um,
think a couple of couple of them that passed on was in the rural communities. Thank you.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay, any more questions? Questions? No, thank you very much. Representative Tam.
Thank you.
Next, Senator Les Ihara. Oh, that's true. Senator Ihara? Okay. Senator Carol Fukunaga. Oh, yes, okay. She said she was going to be here, but she submitted her report in Google Drive, huh? In Google Drive, just to let you folks know. Next, same thing with Senator Sharon Moriwaka.
You're welcome.
No? Didn't she someone? No, okay, that's okay. Okay, that takes care of those. Next, residents' community comments. Anybody have anything they want to say besides Laura?
Go first, I'll go.
Okay.
Hello, Chair. Hello, Board. My name is Alicia Rolke. I'm a resident and I'm also a part of Ikenakea Development. We did a presentation for the board last month for our affordable housing project at 1234 Alexander Street. It's called Moiliili Apartments. So we've been asked by Senator Fukunaga to hold a comment period. We've been accepting comments, but a 10-day comment period ending on April 15th. So if anybody has any comments or questions, you can reach out to us on our website or our emails, ikenakeadevelopment@gmail.com. I also have some business cards that I can pass out after. Thank you.
Laura, yeah, okay, next.
Aloha, Ian Ross again. I've been in touch with Dave Watase, and he's really interested in trying to bring together the boards which have passed resolutions related to the Alawai Flood Mitigation Project. A big part of the most recent resolutions are to try to get more community input. And one idea is why just wait for others telling us to do this? So I just want to let the chair know and to the members that we're going to start looking for times to bring chairs together from the area. So I wanted to give you some information about, let you know to be on the lookout for that. Additionally, I wanted to bring up, just by a quick show of hands, anyone here drive past the Lunalilo on-ramp ever if they're heading west? Anyone here do that? So you might recall there's a tiny, not particularly well cared for, not particularly loved mini park. It's called the Pi'ikoi Mini Park. Recently, the city council has started a movement on a resolution which would allow that to be transferred to an individual seller. The resolution would make that $118,000, which I would consider a pretty low amount in urban Honolulu. But this would be to transfer it to one of the adjacent property owners to combine it. I can tell you the Makiki area is often concerned about a lot of illegal and nuisance activity, but it raises a question about what do we want to see happen to our parks and our green spaces, especially in very limited urban areas. So I'm going to be watching this very carefully. I wanted to bring this to your board's attention because I think a lot of people here drive by that as well. Again, my name is Ian Ross. I'd love to hear your comments as well, because this is something which the Makiki, Laura Punch Bowl, Tantalus Neighborhood Board is going to be watching very closely. Thank you.
Hi, Allison again. In regards to Ian's letter, when I was listening to the discussion by the board, it seemed like, I'm sorry, I don't know, board member next to Morgan, Judy, that I'm not sure if you understood the objective with his letter.
Okay, sorry. We shouldn't talk about, oh yeah,
We can't
we
discuss
discussed
it.
this
Okay.
already, yeah. Sorry,
Okay.
sorry. Rules,
It's the rules.
the rules.
Okay, very quickly, several different things. First of all, we have two big piles of mulch from the giant mango tree that we cut back severely at the Moiliili Japanese Cemetery on Sunday. Now we're going to be spreading out the mulch this coming Sunday. And we'd really like you, if you want mulch, come and get a whole wheelbarrow full or whatever you want. It's on Moiliili and Waiaka, and just take whatever you want. Second of all, the EIS proposal that you folks had not approved, it has now been approved by both the Diamond Head Board and the Manoa Board. So you might reconsider. It's a show of support for understanding full well what's going on in your community. And then let's see, Saturday, this coming Saturday at 3:00, anyone who was very interested in the like I should say, the site of where the proposed bridge is going at the Alawai Park. We're having a Alawai Mauka Community Association meeting that's open to anybody. And Senator Ihara will be there to chair and to give us all of the background. It's very important. We want community empowerment so that we can have something that will go forward in a positive way. It's at 3:00 on Saturday.
This Saturday.
This Saturday, yes. Yes, I think that's all. Thank you.
And where did you say that?
Where would it be?
Oh,
Where?
I just go to the end of the canal or right there. There'll be a picnic table and we'll try to grab it.
Which, okay.
And
on
of
which
where?
side of the?
On the Mauka side, Yeah, that's us. Yeah, although we're very much wanting to take care of the other side too. But at this point, we have to grab them and their group to come together with us. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
All righty. Anybody else? Anything to? Yes.
I'm sorry, just a procedural question, Chair. If, again, on the letter about the gaming room, if this has been brought up and voted by the board, is it possible to resurrect it and bring additional information, or can it be talked about again?
So not typically. I would say in this case, the entirety of the board isn't here. So maybe if there were more members, or like you said, more information, or if it was a different letter, then that's a whole new thing. But just because the board did make a motion and pass it tonight,
Or not pass it?
Yeah, not pass it. They didn't move on it. Yeah, typically it shouldn't be coming back in its same form.
Okay, and on the vote, could you explain just real briefly? I think it was 6-4 and 3 against and a couple of it.
Yeah, so at the time there were 9 members online. There were 6 ayes and 3 noes. And so the board is made up of 13 seats.
Mhm.
And so a quorum vote is 7 votes. So it was only one off. So since there were 9 members present, it could have easily gone a different way, but just with who was online at the time, it did not pass.
Okay.
And yeah, an abstention essentially serves as a no. It's more of a way to remove yourself from the conversation that you don't want to partake in the vote. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so even if there were vacancies on the board, if there were even 2, less than a quorum members, you would still need those 7 votes no matter what, just because that's how many seats there are, which is why it's important to always keep them filled.
And one last question there. If there were a board member who wanted to bring this back for a vote, is that different from a regular person?
Yeah, like I said, it shouldn't come back in its same form, but if a board member had their own spin on it, or they wanted to draft their own letter,
Okay.
it would just be a case-by-case situation in that case. I mean, if it was a board member, they would just need to talk to Paul about it, the chair, right? Paul's in charge of making the agenda, and yeah.
Buck stops here. Okay, anybody else have any comments? No? Okay. Housekeeping and announcements. Next regular meeting is May the 2nd, 2024 at 6:30, right here. Future agenda items, as you just said, just send them to me. Give me a couple of days, 7, to get it on the agenda. Olelo broadcast. I did watch. That was the first time I watched Olelo, and on, I think it was Friday night. And it was pretty interesting, actually. But anyhow, bulky item pickup by appointment only. Schedule appointment, go to www.honolulu.gov/Obala. Reporting neighborhood issues. There's the other one for Honolulu 311 appointment. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Talk to her.
Yeah.